This morning, control of Congress up in the air, with both the House and Senate still hanging in the balance. Republicans acknowledging the expected red wave never materialized.
With 5 races still to call, it's unclear who will control the Senate. Control of the House is leaning Republican, but only barely. Democrats overall are doing much better than expected.
That predicted red wave only appears to be a splash, if you will.
The word wave has no application yet to what we're seeing. This might feel more like the edge of a lake.
This really looks much more like a red whisper, if that.
This wasn't even a red wave. It's not even a red little ripple in a pond.
I've heard it called, the red sprinkler. I've heard it called the red splash, the red puddle.
The red drizzle, the red spritz. Yeah, you know when you're peeing and then a little bit comes out after you're done? It's a red one of those. You should probably go get that checked out, by the way. And like some of these didn't even make sense. Like, I'm sorry, but what is a red whisper? What is that, like ASMR for conservatives? Is that what that is? It's just like, now I'm crumpling up the Voting Rights Act. Oh, yeah. But yes, last night was not the red wave that many people expected it to be. And to be clear, Republicans are still in good shape to take control of the House, and they may even take control of the Senate when it's all said and done. Now, it's too early to tell, because, America counts its votes as slowly as George R.R. Martin writes the books, but it's definitely not the huge win that they were expecting. So it feels like a loss, which is really strange to me about politics. It's the only place where you can technically win, but still lose because people thought you were going to win more. Basically, Republicans got the hand job version of winning. Yeah, like, it got the job done, but no one's really happy about it. It's like, I could have done this to myself. And again, lots of races are still undecided. Arizona and Nevada won't be done counting votes for a few more days. We won't know who won Alaska's races until the dog sled arrives. And the big Senate race in Georgia looks like it is headed to a runoff in December. Yeah, which is only going to screw up Herschel Walker's brain even more, right? Think about it, it's like, another election? Has it been 6 years already? Oh, man. That means I got 35 children now. What's happening? Oh, wow. But one big race that was decided last night was in Pennsylvania, where John Fetterman defeated Dr. Oz. Which, you gotta admit, is exciting for the Capitol because nobody in the Senate looks like this guy. I mean, Have you seen this? He doesn't look like everyone. He's massive. He's got the bald head, the goatee, the hoodie, which is dope. Normally, senators look like your dad's boss from work, John Fetterman looks like he can physically raise the debt ceiling. 37 trillion! And look, now, one of the reasons so many people were surprised by last night's results is that for weeks, pundits had been saying that there are only a few issues that really matter to Americans right now, like inflation, crime, and whatever the hell is going on with the Twitter check marks. And in particular, the experts were saying that voter concerns about abortion had faded since the summer. Well, I guess all those experts have been fired and will never be allowed back on television because it turns out they were just a little bit wrong.
The issue of abortion turned out to be a massive factor yesterday, with the Supreme Court's decision in the Dobbs case to overturn Roe v. Wade playing a much bigger role than polls before the election suggested.
In California, Michigan, and Vermont, voters chose to enshrine reproductive rights into their state's constitutions. The biggest surprise came in Republican-leading Kentucky, where voters rejected an anti-abortion constitutional amendment.
It was a huge night for abortion rights across the country. I mean, women voted in droves. Yes, well, people said a few weeks ago that it didn't matter, that it was fading. Turns out that wasn't right.
Yeah, it turns out abortion rights didn't fade away as a concern. And it's crazy that people ever thought it would. Like what women out there would be like, it really bothered me over the summer when the state government wanted to take control of my reproductive system. But now I'm like, whatever, yeah. Maybe my body is their choice, I don't know.